Hi, guys, and welcome to episode number 8 of Real Talk with Kelsey. Super excited to have you with me today as we enter right into this next topic. I have titled this episode Change. Change is hard, right? Change can be so difficult, and yet it is something that God does so many times. It does so often. And it's not something that comes easily. I cannot stand change. I have never enjoyed change, but I know that it means growth. And that's the hard trade-off, right? You know you're going to grow. You know that something good is going to happen, but you're just not sure how. And it seems scary. And it seems like something that just you can't wrap your mind around because you don't know what's going to come next. You don't know what could happen because God's changing things. And that can be so hard to not know the future. If you're someone like me, I love to be in control. My husband's somewhere going, amen. But I am bad at that of knowing that I don't have to be in control all the time, that I don't have to know what's going to happen at every turn, right? If you're someone like me, change is hard. I don't enjoy change. It's not something that comes easily to me. And yet, it's something that God does so often. You have your plan. You think you know what's going to happen. You think you know exactly where he's going to take you. And he all of a sudden is like, yeah, about that. It's cute that you thought you were in control of your life, of what I have for you. I'm going to change something real quick. And if you're like me, you sit there like, no, like, why do you have to do this? Why do you have to do that to me? I was ready. I knew exactly what I was going to do next. And he's like, that's the problem. It's not your will. It's mine. It's his will for us, right? It's his will for our lives. It's his will and it's his plan, not ours. We can give up our opinions, if you will. We can be like, Father, if you included this, that'd be great. I'd love that. But yet he doesn't have to take it into consideration if he doesn't want to. If he knows better. He knows the plans he has for you, right? That's what the word says. I know the plans I have for you. It's just our job to trust him. I know for me, trust is hard. It's hard to trust the Father when you don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes you just got to trust him blindly. And that's scary. I know. Believe me, I know. There are some things happening in my life right now that I'll share in a little bit that I didn't see these things coming. Me and my husband this wasn't in the plan. This wasn't in our plans. And no, I'm not pregnant. For anyone who might be thinking that that's what this is going to go to, I'm not pregnant yet. One day, just not there yet. And this new plan that God has given me, this change that he's made, is not an easy one. It's not. I don't like it. But there's a pastor, a friend of ours, a friend of my family's, Pastor Phil Hernandez, and he's from Philly. He said something, and it stuck with me through this whole process of change, through this whole process of doing something that I really don't want to do. And he said, I don't always agree with God's plan. I don't always like it. And everyone was kind of like, where is he going with this? Right? Because we're supposed to, God's plans for us are good. But he said, I don't always agree. I don't always like God's plan. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it takes me out of my comfort zone. And I don't want to do it. And I don't have to like it. But I do have to be obedient. And I do have to do what I know he's calling me to do. And follow his plan. And know that he's going to take care of me. That he's going to get me through that. And that is something that I'm having to do right now in my life. Change is hard. It's not easy. And it never comes when you're ready for it. It comes out of nowhere and disrupts your plan. He disrupts your comfort. And he did that recently with me and my husband. By the time this video is posted, me and my husband will be on our way to Texas. We are moving to Texas. And this is not something that was in our plan. This was not something that we thought, yeah, we'll go there one day. Texas. We never planned on going to Texas. That was never a part. My husband has actually already lived in Texas before. And it was not something that we thought God had in the plans for us. But from the first day of our marriage, we have always said, okay, we are going to be obedient to the Father. We are going to be obedient to his will for us. And whatever he wants from us, we will do. God, you have our yes. We entered into our marriage that way. And it's a dangerous place to live. So do that with caution. And we made a joke. We would just be more specific. Say, okay, Father, we will do whatever you want us to do. Just don't make us move to Texas. Like that should have been, don't make us move. Don't make us leave. That could have been very much a part of that prayer, but we had no idea that this was going to happen. And an opportunity opened, and it was the answer to a prayer that me and my husband had been believing God for a while now. And it did not come in the package that we thought it was going to come in. And this change is so hard. I have lived in North Carolina for the last 18 years. This is my home. This is where I always felt like I belonged. And a large majority of that is because my family is here. My mom, my dad, and my sisters, and my brother-in-laws. My little niece. My life was here. This is where I thought I was going to stay for a very long time. And saying yes and trusting God in this step of faith is the scariest thing I've ever done. I never thought that God's plan for me would take me on a different path than my family. And it's scary. And I'm going to try not to cry in this video, but it's scary. And I realized something. I've never done something without the comfort of knowing that my family was there. And I believe that God is calling me and my husband to go to Texas because he has a great plan for us there. There is a reason that we're going. There's a reason that we're going there. And I don't know what it is, not yet. And I may not find out for a while. And I don't have to like God's plan. I don't have to agree with it because it is taking me so far out of my comfort zone. But I do have to be obedient. And I will be obedient. And I will follow where he leads me. I will follow where he takes my husband. I will follow my husband anywhere. And because I've given him that yes, we've already seen blessing through it. So many things have already fallen into place that are only God could do these things. The things that have happened, finances that have been provided, things that have been covered that don't make sense, that like, what in the world, how did that happen? It's what happens when you're obedient to God, when you give him your yes, when you accept the change, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how sometimes it hurts. When you are obedient and you follow his plan for you and you step out of that comfort zone, he does amazing things. And he will show you that it's him because everything will fall into place. All of the things will align so perfectly and so easily. And he'll give you this peace. Not gonna lie, the first 2 weeks after finding out that we were gonna move to Texas, I was a wreck. I was so deep in my feelings. I was so just distraught, and I felt like I was mourning a life that I wanted to live, a life that I wanted to keep living, I should say. And it wasn't until about this week, a week and a half now, that I've kind of just, like, taken a deep breath, taken a step back, and been like, "Okay, Father, this isn't fun. I don't like this, but you're gonna show me why. There is something amazing at the end of this journey. At the end of this yes, until you lead me to the next step where we'll have to say yes again at some point to something else. At the end of this is something beautiful. And I don't see it yet, Lord. I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know why you're taking me so far away from everything that I find comfort in. But I know that it's because you have a plan, and something so beautiful is going to come from this. And something is going to grow in me. Something is going to happen in me that could only make sense because you put it there. You placed me here for a reason. So I say all of this because if you're going through a change, if something big just happened, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a move. It could be a relationship ending. It could be a new relationship. It could be a new job. It could be you leaving an old job, a door closing, a new door opening, whatever it is. If you're going through change, it is hard. But I pray that you get to the point where I am at right now, where no matter what, Father, you've got me. You're going to get me through this. And I don't have to understand. I don't have to know the answers. I don't have to agree with what you're asking me to do. But I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to quiet my flesh that says this isn't fair. I don't want to do this. Why is this happening to me? Why did they leave me? Why did I have to leave that relationship? I felt comfortable there, and not a comfort in a reassurance in knowing that it's the right person, but just because I could settle here. That you would take a step back from all those feelings, from all of the good and the bad thoughts that might be going through your head, and take a deep breath and just say, Father, thy will be done. This is his will. His will is for you to follow him. His will is for you to blindly have faith that he's going to do exactly what he says he will. All of the dreams that I have, they're still there. Just because he's changing my scenery, if you will, doesn't mean that he's taking away the dreams that I have. I know he'll still make them come true somehow. And this might be a step towards that. Doing this might be the step that I need to take to get to those dreams. And I cannot wait to see what God does through me and my husband through this journey. It's going to be hard. I'm going to have my moments. Everyone would. You're going to have moments where you're going to be sad. You're going to have moments where you're not going to understand. You're going to have moments where you miss someone, where you aren't sure if this was God or not, but he'll always make it very aware, very clear that it was him. And you'll be able to look back on this one day and smile knowing God had me all along. He did that for a reason. And now I know what that reason was. Change is not easy. You think about a butterfly, right? The caterpillar to a butterfly. Little caterpillar living its life, trying to survive, not get eaten, not eat something it's not supposed to, not get sprayed with pesticide by a person protecting their garden, all that all that jazz. This little caterpillar going through its life, eating, surviving, until it's time for change. And only when the time is right, it'll start building that cocoon. And step by step, it'll put piece after piece after piece together. Think of yourself as that. You're the caterpillar. And God is the one building the cocoon. And when the time is right, he'll put piece by piece by piece together. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming. Sometimes it can feel like it's too much change. I'm not ready for this. That I wasn't made for this. And you're watching as he encompasses you. And it's not until he puts that last piece and you're all alone with him that you feel this overwhelming peace of knowing this is right. This is what's supposed to happen. And in the moments that you find yourself alone with him, in that moment when you're encompassed in his grace, in his love, and in his plan for you, when you're ready and when he knows the right timing, you'll see the light again. You'll see the light at the end of this change, at the end of this tunnel. And when you emerge, you'll have grown so much, and you'll grow into the most beautiful butterfly. And you'll look back and be like, so this is why I had to grow. This is why I had to change. This is why things had to go the way they did, so that I could get here. And you'll know in that moment that that was the right decision to make, that was the right choice. God is so beautiful. He's so amazing. He does things for a reason. And again, you don't have to like it. You don't have to understand it. It's not your job to understand it. All you have to do is trust him. Be obedient. Thy will be done, Father. It is well. Those are the two things that I have spoken over myself this last week. Thy will be done, Father. It is well. It's going to be okay. Change isn't easy. I don't like it. I didn't want to go. My immediate answer was no. But I know that through this, God is going to do something so beautiful. And I cannot wait. I wish I could fast forward to when all this makes sense, to when I'm not hurting over this decision anymore, and I've grown and I've come to where God wanted me to be and everything, and just know that it's all going to be okay and that everything was worth it. I wish I could fast forward to that part. I can't. Or else there would be no growth. But once I get there, I know I'm going to be so proud that we did this. I'm going to be so happy that we made this choice. And I'm going to have no regrets whatsoever of giving God my yes. That's the thing. When you give God your yes, when you tell him, all right, Father, whatever you want for me, I'll do it. Wherever you want me to go, I'll go. Whatever you want me to do, it's your will, not mine. Thy will be done. Once you give him that, buckle up. You never know what he's going to do. You never know where he's going to take you or what that call is, or you might have an idea, but you don't know how he plans on getting you there. Change might happen. And it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. But as long as you're trusting in him, as long as you're walking with the Father, it'll be effortless. At the end of it all, you'll know I'm doing the right thing. And everything will fall into place. He'll do everything that he's said he will. He's a man of his word. He's a God of his word. And he will take you places that you never imagined and that you could have never gotten on your own or doing it your way, your plan. It won't get you there, but his plan, it'll get you there and it'll get you further. You don't have to understand. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to understand why things are happening the way that they're happening. But just know that He is God, and He is good, and He will take care of you. Through all of the hard, through all of the blessing, through all of the good, through all of the bad, through every trial, through every season, through every change, He will always be there. He'll take care of you. He'll get you through it, and you will grow so much. And when that day comes, I can't wait to see where He's taken you. Change is hard, but when you embrace it, it takes you places that you never could have gone on your own. Thy will be done, Father. It is well. I'm going to get through this, and so are you. Whatever you're going through, whatever change is going through your life right now, I know something beautiful is going to come from it. And you may not see it now. And I'm so sorry if you're hurting. But just know He's got you. He loves you. He wouldn't let this happen for no reason. There's always a reason. And it's never a bad reason. He could be trying to protect you. He could be advancing you. He could be leading you to a new place, to a new person. Embrace the change. You don't have to understand. It doesn't have to make sense. Just know He's got you. Change is good. It's all going to be okay. This has been Real Talk with Kelsey. I can't wait to see you next episode, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.